I have just sold off a massive part of my collection, which has now allowed me to purchase these, a couple of Grail items. Stay tuned to find out what the hell has been going on. Welcome back. Now, a few weeks ago I did a video explaining why I was no longer going to be collecting Mattel's Masters of the Universe Origins figures. Basically, I was sick and tired of these store exclusives that were going to Walmart, Target, etc. And going forward, they were going to be sticking the vintage style figures strictly on Mattel Creations. And I said, that's it, I'm done. No more for me. Well, I've taken things one step further and I have just sold my entire collection. Bottom line is, whilst I played with Masters of the Universe as a child, I didn't actually own any. So there was no real emotional attachment to the line. Furthermore, we're about to move overseas again, and I estimated the cost of shipping the Origins collection was going to be in excess of $300, plus I would need to find and purchase at least 100 figure stands, and those are somewhat specialist stands, so they're not cheap. As it is, I made a reasonable loss on the sale, especially when you consider that just a few months back I uncarded all the figures to put them in Ziploc bags to make shipping them a bit easier. But something just occurred to me a week or two back. I thought, you know what, I don't love this line, it wasn't really part of my childhood, let's just get rid of it, and with the money let's get something I really want. Now, viewers who have watched some of my live streams may have an idea of what lives within these two boxes. I am over the moon to have these in my collection again, which obviously means these are something that I had as a kid. So just to wrap up the whole MotU thing, yes, I made a significant loss, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I had fun collecting the line. I enjoyed looking at the figures. I never actually displayed them, never played with them. It was fun, but that's in the past now. So now we can move on or go back in time. Depends what way you want to look at this. But we have a couple of things just arrived this morning, one of which came from France in a matter of 6 days. We'll get to that one secondly. So first up, we have a package here, and this is something that ironically I didn't love at the time as a kid. I'm going to estimate I got this for my birthday in 1982, and whilst I wouldn't say I was disappointed when I received it, it wasn't quite what I was hoping for, but we have it again, and it's been very well packed. We've got peanuts galore here, bubble wrap. And we have, in a little Ziploc bag, the die-cast Kenner Snowspeeder. This was the only die-cast Star Wars vehicle I had as a kid. And let me just have a quick inspection here. Yep, perfect. I have been looking for this for a very long time. And as with many things I get in my collection, I want it to be as mint as possible. And this was by far the best example I could see that was not carded. There is a card also, we'll get to that shortly, but this is really immaculate. And I always liked the fact that they had the pilots cast entirely in orange, which I always found quite amusing. And of course the landing gear does work. This is really immaculate. This actually looks nicer in person than it did on the eBay listing, which is quite a rare occurrence. But yes, this was one I had as a kid, and it was always my intention to get one for the collection. Just could not find one that was in decent enough condition for my taste. This one has definitely exceeded that. This is absolutely perfect, and it wasn't that expensive either. So let me just put landing gear down and put it to the side 1 second whilst I rummage through this to find the original card back, which will definitely bring back a few memories. There we go. And yes, this card back is actually in really good condition. So anyway, there's the front. I'm sure you've all seen that before. As I said, this was a birthday, I believe it was 82, and I remember this package being wrapped, and I thought, what's a bit heavy for a figure? Because at the time I wanted figures. Took off the wrapping and I thought, oh, it's a Snowspeeder. Wasn't overly thrilled at the time. I am indeed very thrilled now. And it does say die-cast metal and high impact plastic. So you can see the entire range on the back, plus the laser rifle and laser pistol. I of course have the laser pistol, which is a really cool item, and I think one of the best Star Wars toys ever, because it gave you that chance to pretend to be Han Solo, although the sound is absolutely horrendous. So yeah, there we go. There is the card back. This is in really nice condition. I'm going to maybe color that in black to hide all that sort of mess up. I guess someone ripped the price tag off, and I may put that behind or part of my display, but this will definitely form part of my Hoth display. Fantastic, really happy with this. So let me just move these to the side and we'll get onto this one. Now this is something that has taken me, and I'm not even exaggerating here, this has been years in the making. Viewers of the live streams at Christmas may know what this is. Came from France. Let me see here, La Poste, and got all the various documents. No import charge, thankfully. What did they declare as the price here? That's in euro. You know, as you can imagine, the shipping was 50% of the cost of the item. Unbelievable. But we'll get this one opened up, and this is something that, like I said, this has been years of searching and just never ever found one. I don't know why that should be, because there must have been millions of these made, but on eBay I could only find used ones that were in just terrible, terrible condition. And we have some newspapers or flyers from France that has been, I'm going to read these later actually. I always do love reading flyers from other countries. So we got this, toss that to the side, and we have, and there's more flyers in there. Right, nicely packaged. So let's see how well this has survived the decades. And I do say decades because clearly it's a vintage item. And you know what? After the whole Masters of the Universe experience and the fact that McFarlane have kind of ignored the Batman TV show for their retro figures, it might be done entirely with modern stuff, which is no bad thing. But this is something that has taken me a long, long time to get back into my possession. I don't know if you've seen that there, but we have more. We've got a cardboard thing to keep it straight, which is nice. And it's been wrapped in another bag. So let me see if I can just release this. And this one is, in fact, mint on card. But the card is in pretty bad shape from what I remember on the eBay listing, so I'm not too concerned about that. But I don't know if you've seen what it is yet. And the fact that it came from France in under 6 days, and the fact is, I actually purchased it, I think it was last Sunday, it must have been. Oh, it's already falling off the card, so it took 6 days from purchase to arriving here in America. It is, of course, the Rough Riders A-Team Enforcer van. And as I said, it's coming off, the bubble is coming off. So anyone out there who cries when I open a vintage toy, this was not me this time, so keep your gob shut. And here we have, oh my God, this is perfect. The Enforcer van, Rough Riders, with the 3-way gear shifter. I don't know if it's going to work We are going to put batteries in this, but this is absolutely perfect. Let's be honest, in this day and age, these vintage toys, for my purpose, are basically museum pieces. So whether it works or not, it's neither here nor there. I wanted a perfect one for my display, and you will not find a better example than this. But what I'll do is, I will get the batteries put in and see if we can get this operational, because if my memory serves me correctly, this was a whole lot of fun to play with. So when we come back, we'll see if we can get this thing working. So, over 4 decades sitting in a package, and guess what? It works. I am absolutely blown away by this. And the fact that it's working as it should have done 4 decades ago just makes me so happy. Now, not to be a big downer here, I will not be doing a demonstration at this point. The reason being, if you can see what I can see, there are just cardboard boxes everywhere. I have nowhere to let this have a good run. But fear not, once we move to the house in Thailand, there will be ample space for a really thorough demonstration of not only this, but a lot of my vintage toys. But this is something that has really been a long, long search, and the fact that I now have it in my possession and not only looking this good, but actually functioning as it should, is one of the greatest feelings ever. I know that I'm not the most expressive kind of people on YouTube. I like it that way, but trust me, I am absolutely giddy inside to have this. And again, I don't know how well it's coming across, but we do have the headlights coming on. And in case you weren't aware, it had 3 modes. In neutral, it's basically a freewheeling toy where the wheels, you know, turn when you move it forward as you would any other sort of die-cast vehicle. Forward position is rear wheel drive for speed, and in the 3rd position it is 4-wheel drive, and this thing really could conquer any incline, especially with these grippy rubber tires, which I'm pleased to say are not in the slightest bit hard. They're not sticky, they're just as they were when this was first made. I keep looking at this because I am absolutely blown away. Absolutely incredible. Unbelievable to finally get this. And as I said, this is not a lie. This has been years of searching. When I began doing the All Things 80s channel in April of 2019, I made a list of things I wanted to get that I had as a kid to showcase on the channel. This was top of the list, so it's taken that long. But here we are. And the card, you know, it's hanging off. I did not do any of this. It's cracked, it's hanging. The card itself is in reasonable condition. I'm going to keep hold of this. On the back, we have the other 18 vehicles that were available, as well as Knight Rider and Pole Position. But yes, Rough Riders by LJN Toys. What a wonderful piece of history. So please do let me know in the comments, did you play with Rough Riders as a kid? And if so, did you have as much fun as I did? And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please just drop a quick like, share the video, make sure you're subscribed, and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.